Good morning, friends. How are you doing? We are here inviting Sunny and Caroline for episode 6, Meet the Woman Behind the Brand. So they will join here soon. There we are. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Caroline. How are you?
Hey, Lourdes.
You guys look so pretty over there. I
Thank
like
you.
your, I like your like big city energy from the back.
Thank you. This is the Met. The hot dog stands in front of the Met.
Beautiful. How are you doing this morning?
Great. Stopped raining for a minute. All of our kids are in between camp and school, so we're a little crazy over here, but
So you guys have not started school yet, right?
no, we haven't, no. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of Texas started today or I mean this week or next week. So it's been a very kind of crazy back to transition, back to, oh, I have time in the morning. I don't remember what that feels like, kind of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. We
Yeah.
noticed our sales went up
Yeah.
like at 9:30 a.m. on Monday.
Funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
must have after car drop off.
Yeah. It meant, we finally have time to think. Just really beautiful, experience for women, when the kids go back to school.
Exactly. We can't wait.
So let us dive in because I've been in love with your brand and your aesthetic from the beginning.
You
You,
have, Lourdes. Can we please just recognize that?
yeah, I know. I post a lot about the Holy Mat, and people are like, "Oh my God, what's that mat?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. She's retired. I have to try to convince you to bring Holy Mat back, but she's an oldie, but she's such a good mat." So. Tell us how did this journey started for you? How did you begin into the Mahjong world, into the design?
Sure. Okay, so I'll go first.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I started the brand. We printed business cards in 2022, and
Wow.
I wanted to create a world essentially. I didn't really have a product that I was aiming for.
Okay.
Just knew I loved prints. I loved making prints. I loved collecting prints. And every time I would walk into a store, I would see something, a lamp, a piece of furniture, a dress, whatever, and think to myself, I would love to create a print for this and make it my own and build my own world. And famously, I was arguing with my husband about decorating our house. And he's like, it's kind of getting a little wacky in here. You can't live in your own Wes Anderson world. And
Yes, you can.
I said, oh, really? And then I started the brand. So it was like tabletop travel. I was making leather and leather accessories, bag inserts, anything that you could put a print on, playing cards.
Yeah.
And then I started playing Mahjong. And in fact, I looked in my Amazon history for when I bought my first set of tiles. It was 2017. And
Wow.
I remember that set. It was Yellow Mountain, which is
Yeah.
still my favorite. The
Yeah.
little tiny
Great
tiles. Our
brand.
tiles
Yeah.
are inspired by Yellow
Yeah.
Mountain. And I started whispering with my friends. We got a lesson together. And then I was like, well, of course, I'm going to start
Make
decorating everything Mahjong. And that's where we are
Well,
today.
it's because really the Mahjong table, it's a vignette, right? And I mean, if people don't know, a vignette is what you see in a maybe in a magazine of like a chair with a lamp and the coffee and the book, right? It's like a thing. And when you think about the table, you have all the different layers that you can do, but it's just really a vignette where you can again put texture and pattern and story and contrast and organic to it. So I can see how you would resonate with the Mahjong table and be like, okay, let me play with that.
Well, it is a vignette now,
Yeah.
Lourdes. I don't think it was before. In
Yeah. It was
fact, I
probably
would
more
argue to
basic.
say we helped it along.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I was doing tabletop. I was making china
Oh,
plates.
love that.
Um, and my friends kept on saying, we all have kids. What are you doing? I don't want china plates. We want party plates that we can use and that are at a better price point that you can buy multiples. So I had all of these melamine party plates made,
Yeah,
and we were setting tables,
yeah.
especially during COVID. We were setting tables. So Mahjong just followed
Was
along.
like,
That's natural evolution.
yeah, it was a natural evolution, totally. Yeah, I do love your tables as well. I've noticed like if I don't know, I'm sure everybody's seen your website, but there's so much more than just mats. in the website. If you start digging, there's a lot more fun things to play with. If this you're reflecting and you're really feeling identified with this aesthetic, for sure.
Yeah, so all the maximalist girls, that's like our main customer. Everything is decorated to the umpteenth degree.
Yeah,
So if you like that kind of stuff, you might be a Tigre girl.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a maximalist app. I met Erin from Mosh Pit yesterday, and we were kind of fangirling a little bit, and we were like, we're gonna go and show up at her house, at your house, Annie, and we just want to see her house. You know what?
We love Erin so much, and we love her
she's
brand
great.
so much.
She
We
also
sell
has
her
a great
style.
aesthetic. Yeah, yeah. I have one right in front of me right here that I'm playing with in my hands.
Is
But
that not the most beautiful tile? I mean, the blue, the
do you know
waves, the
what?
shimmerings.
I am 100%. I'm telling you that this looks 100 times better in person than it does on video and in camera.
I know.
Totally
Yeah,
agree.
I know.
I was when
This is wrong with
I
your
finally,
photography.
yeah, when I got there, I was like, can I buy some large, like confetti? And she was like, yes. And when I opened it, I was like, oh, whoa, this is like so much brighter and happier, and you can read them. So anyways, that's like a whole side story, but yeah, they look a lot better in person. But tell me, I was telling you that we back in the day when you used to film like shipping, prepping in your house, right?
Yeah.
And we would see a little bit, and we were saying how like, oh, can we go into that room? What's turn the other way? Like, because we were just wanting to see your house. We wanted to see all your different spaces. But anyways,
Yeah,
that
I
was just
decorated
us
that
funny.
house. That was like what I was doing. That was like my full-time hobby, job, whatever,
Yeah,
before I started the business.
yeah.
Because I was a stay-at-home mom and I needed something to do. And then I had an Instagram account that preceded this one, that had all of those decorating adventures on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So tell me, in this journey now, you've become super successful from, when the beginning that maybe it was a little smaller. Now you're like a big player in the mass world. What are the kind of highs and lows of running this business and in this, journey that you've been into?
Okay, so that's where Caroline comes in.
Caroline can deal with all the nightmares, so poor Caroline has to tell us about this.
Okay, so I was working out of my home and I was perfectly happy doing so. I was
Yeah,
like going downstairs, packing my orders. They started kind of getting out of control, but we were handling it.
yeah,
And also, I'm just very unconventional about the spaces in my home. So we took over the living room, we took over the sunroom, we took over the attic, we took over the foyer, we took over the dining room. It wasn't bothering me. But then I started consulting with Caroline.
yeah.
She started showing up in her Stanford sweatshirt and
I'm
all her ideas.
totally underdressed. That's really all it.
In a very organized, probably kind of like there's going to be a system for this, right?
Right, totally, totally. So what would happen is she'd come over and I'd be like, I think you're exactly the kind of person that we need in this mix. And then after a while, I think we convinced her that we worked well together. But then she said, Sunny, I'm not going to take this job if you don't move out of your house. And
It's
that
going to be
is
an
just
office in a
And I said, all
warehouse.
right, well, Caroline, I want somebody who wakes up in the morning and feels the same way I feel, elated, excited, about the business, but also worried about everything on the same level. So Caroline is a full partner. She used to run Windy City Mahjong, and
Yes.
her business merged with my business.
Yep.
And now she's CEO and my partner.
Yes.
That's so awesome. And I used
Yeah.
to follow her when she was just Windy City too, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Lourdes. That's
Yeah.
so sweet. Yeah, it's funny because like now in retrospect, those things in life when you're like, I never would have guessed I'd be here.
Yeah.
But also it totally makes sense. Those like there's sort of like we were talking about natural evolutions of tablescapes. This is sort of a natural evolution of your resume, right? Like you leave the finance world, you decide to do something totally crazy and teach mahjong. You
Yeah.
meet a woman who's designing the products that you're teaching with, and you fall in love with those products, and then suddenly you're working with her.
Yeah.
So the way that Sunny and I actually got to know each other was my mom bought one of her mats for me for my birthday. And I was like, this is so much better than neoprene. Like,
Yeah.
I drove it to her mom's house to
yes,
drop it off. That's
my
how small
brain like exploded because I had been teaching for about 18 months at that time. And so like I don't drink, but like I am totally fine if people want to drink when I'm teaching.
Yeah.
And the amount of red wine spilled on my neoprene mats, it's like an ongoing joke with my husband that I've would buy a new mat and he'd be like, yeah, that's gonna last a week. Because it would be like this like light pink, pretty kind of simple pattern. Immediately destroyed. So my mom got me this leatherette mat and I was like, this is so much better. Like I can't believe that everyone's not doing this. Now they are, but Sunny was the first one to do that.
Yeah.
And so I immediately bought like 6 more and threw away all my neoprene. So I don't have any more neoprene at this time.
Wow.
And I was so excited to have these mats that rolled together. I bought the field bag. Like it was kind of like I was a very organic customer.
Yeah.
And then when we realized how close we lived like literally, I think like we could walk to each other's houses and
Oh, wow.
we live really close to each other. I would pop over and we would chat. And I was telling her about my idea for this book, which is going to be like it turned into the Easy Peasy Play Guide. But I was like, I'd made this PowerPoint because my background's in finance. And so I was teaching everyone with a PowerPoint that was printed out and like, bound with this stupid binder that I had bought myself. And everyone, I caught one woman taking it home and I was like, okay, I need to like make something that people can take home.
Yeah.
So I started working on this book and I had this idea that I would white label it for other people because I was like, I put a lot of time into this book, but like, I don't think other teachers are going to want to teach with my brand,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I'm not like a national brand. So I started offering white label and Sunny immediately was my first customer. Like I announced it and Sunny, I think it was like 20 seconds later, was like, I'll take
Very
100.
cool.
So she was my first white label customer. I did do about 30 white label books in like the 4 months that I was doing it. And then we kind of realized that it's sort of become like, the introductory mahjong book for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And so,
So needed. Something
yeah,
little that's on the table because my attention span is this big. And to
Yeah.
look at something, to be able to flip through and have something so easy. And then if you listen to Caroline on her page, it's just a very pleasant approach.
It's
And
very casual. Yeah. And
yeah,
interesting enough, we have friends in common that you've taught, Caroline, because I have friends in my neighborhood that they're part of my weekly crew
that's
and they're from
awesome.
Chicago
oh my
And
gosh, I love that.
one time we were talking and your name came up. She's like, she's taught my friends over there. So I was like, oh, how cool. It's a
It's
small
so
world.
interesting. Yeah, I really did love teaching. I miss it a little bit, but I like what I'm doing now more. I think at some point we'll try to involve something around
Yeah.
like around incorporating, lessons and we're still working on that. But at some point we'll do that. But it was so fun to kind of think about the order that you teach people this game. There's so much scaffolding involved and like
Yeah.
not introducing concepts too early. So the book is it's really for beginners. Like I got some feedback that was like add strategy. And I'm like, that is not what this is. This is
Yeah,
like
no.
someone who's
The
trying to learn.
101 is
Like
that I'm
Yeah.
you are
sitting
at the
cold. This is too
table.
many rules. Yeah, I don't know what's left
You're
from
at the
right.
table, you're panicking, you need to know something right now.
Yeah.
Totally.
You don't want to look at your phone.
Right. Right. And so
I've had people come in with like paper and notes, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
take notes, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of like
it's
I don't
fun.
teach like big time. I just teach my friends or whatever. But I've had people come in wanting to take notes, and I was like, oh, it would be useful to have something simple that you can give away. I will give it away after because I don't want the people reading what like listen to me like,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of read through and be like, okay, that made sense, and start connecting the dots.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So then if you can imagine, Lourdes, this woman would come over to my house and we were doing all of these. I paid her to do some consulting work and she was nailing it to the wall. And she was talking to other brands. She was involved with other brands. And
Yeah.
I'm like, if somebody, I told my husband, I'm like, if I don't hire this woman, she's going to go off and be my main competitor because
Yeah, you're gonna regret it. You're like,
Yeah.
if she goes, I'm gonna regret it. So I have to keep her.
Right. So it was the best
Yeah.
decision I ever made.
Oh,
So
that's
Caroline,
sweet.
since you've
You're
taken this
so-
job, tell me
Yeah.
what has been the kind of the highs and the lows of it.
So, I mean, it's funny. Like, and I don't mean to compare this to my old career too much, but it's really my point of reference, which was that I
Yeah.
worked in investing in finance. And I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, if you're not sure if you love your job, you don't. That was kind of the realization that I had recently. And like, I absolutely am so much happier doing this. Like, this is the right fit for me in terms of the highs. Like, there's a high every day. It's fun. It's exciting. I actually like like the aesthetic of the office, which I feel like I never even considered my old job. Like, do I like the office chairs at my old job? So
It's all the
it's
little details.
yeah, the thing that there's really esoteric problems that you're trying to think through at like a high level. Like, if we buy this raw material and this raw material and get it to this manufacturer, like, is the timing going to be right? Can he store the excess raw material? Like, those problems are fun for me to solve. And then there's like very detailed problems that are totally separate. Like, our UPS pickup is kind of inconvenient for some of our like staff members. So, the highs are really like, I love solving the problems. I think the part that has been the biggest high is that I talked about this with my mom recently. When you meet the person you end up marrying, you kind of immediately start feeling like you're on the same page.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like a different sort of marriage, right? Like we're
Yeah.
like
Your work life.
it's
Yes,
your work life.
totally.
It's your work life. That's exactly right. And like we'll get into it like a disagreement, and then like 5 minutes later, she's like, "What do you want for lunch?" Like this is it's
Yeah, I get that. It's like
yeah,
that family bond where you get to
yes,
argue and disagree, but that doesn't mean anything.
totally.
It just meant like we need to
Right.
talk about that again, or we'll figure that out at some other point. But it doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
else for the friendship or the
no.
relationship. It's just collaborating, truly.
Yes, and if I push back on like some random idea and Sunny pushes back the other way, I'm like, oh, thank God. It has
Yeah.
like if she gave in, I'd be like, wait, I'm right. Like I should be questioning this. So I think that that's been the biggest high. That this feels very natural. Like there's no part of this that has felt hard. All those people that are like, you really have to work on your partnership. I'm like, I mean, it's not that this is
Nice.
easy, but like this is not hard.
It's
So
enjoyable.
yes,
It's
but
rewarding.
I
That's really nice. I mean, I've in this interviews that I've been doing, you guys and Miss Mahjong, they were, and
Oh,
actually, for
yeah.
example, they're pairs, right? There's multiple of them, and there's always that. Okay, I can rely on you. Okay, if one day I'm down, you're here, or if I'm going off the rails, you're here to bring me in. And it's interesting because after this kind of interviews, I get a lot of like single business owners
Mhm.
like, oh, that was so nice. I wish I would have a partner or somebody like that, because that is so special that you guys can collaborate and work and have this relationship and rely on each other, really.
It really is.
yeah.
And I mean, I haven't let someone into my life in that capacity in so long. I've been married for 22 years.
Yeah.
It's there hasn't been any changing of the guard.
Yeah.
To have Caroline come in, it's been really, really rewarding.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so nice. That's so
Yeah.
nice to hear. It's always nice to have somebody to bounce ideas and rely on. So especially as the brand is
And
growing so much.
I would like to say also another high for us has been this past summer is hiring all of these young women who have come to work for
Yeah.
us.
Nice.
It has been so rewarding to, first of all, I know all of them because their mothers are all my friends.
Yeah.
So I hired all of my friends' daughters for the summer for internships along with
Nice.
our regular staff. They've been working alongside, and we were like, do you guys want to like drop out of college and just work here permanently? We love you. And just to see them be able to work in a safe environment where they're supported. When I was young, I started working very, very young. And I had a lot of great job opportunities, but I had a lot of really bad job opportunities that
Yeah.
were very traumatic. So to be able to employ these young women and have them feel empowered, to give them different tasks that they can own, to be able to see the back end of how things work in a small business, that's been like probably the highest high for me.
So rewarding, absolutely, to be able to give space in your world to people to come and grow. It's like you're not alone in your world anymore. We're all in it, and you're giving opportunity to people to come and develop and have
Totally.
career paths and stuff. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and they all would have a job here the second they graduate. They were all tremendous employees. In fact, they surprised me.
I think the level of ownership they took on like things that I kind of would have assumed that a teenager or someone in their early 20s
Yeah.
would sort of think of as like, let me just put my headphones in and crank, like I don't care. But like
Yeah.
some of our staff members are a little older, and they're like, the older staff members are now teaching the interns how to needlepoint, and like there's something about that like, I kind of wish that my jobs had been like that. Like, that sounds so nice. We had
Yeah,
like a minor shipping snafu, and one of our interns had a total panic attack, and I was like, "This is like not a big deal. Like, I hope you understand that this is
and this
no one's
happens.
angry.
Yeah, but
Like, this
working
is totally
somewhere
fine."
else, maybe that boss would have like totally
Yeah,
gone off on her.
Yes,
And be
yeah,
like,
yes,
listen, if your boss ever goes off on you about something like this, you need to
yeah,
tell them to chill out because this is not a
absolutely.
big deal.
yeah. We were like,
Yeah.
"This is like, yeah, this doesn't change anything. We're fine. We found the package. It was
So
no big deal." So
so awesome. Yeah. With the needlepoint, there's been occasions where I posted something and then Sunny posted me this. I think we were watching something. Was it soccer? And I was in the couch needlepointing and I put the
yeah,
picture and then she sent me the same picture. She was needlepointing in the couch watching the same
Always needle
game.
pointing.
yeah.
I'm
It's
always
great
needle
to have my
pointing.
needlepoint at the
Yeah,
front.
we're like surrounded by needlepoint projects right now.
Yeah,
They're
it's
everywhere.
fun. It's fun. I love it too. For me, it's my relaxing thing in the evening where my brain can't handle tasks anymore. Because it's repetitive and simple, like it's like some sort of meditation for me. It's like,
Totally.
okay, my brain can handle this. We can do this. And of course, there's the dopamine hit of making it beautiful and finishing it, and that's also really great. Somebody was asking in the comments, where does the name Tigre de Tartan comes from? And of course, I pronounce it this way because Spanish is my first language. But how did you land it on that name?
Yeah, so I am of Mexican descent. My mother is Mexican. My father's African American and Cherokee Indian.
Cool.
So I have sort of this exotic background that I wanted to recognize.
Yeah,
I paid for a consultation with, do you know who Jenna Lyons is?
sounds familiar.
She
Oh
was the
yeah, yeah, New
former
York
CEO of J.
from
Crew.
J. Crew. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I know her. She's
So I
great.
paid to talk to her.
Wait, I can't hear you suddenly. There we go. You're back. Yeah. You
Okay.
paid to talk
So
to her.
I paid to talk to her, and she suggested that I come up with a name that is not English because it would be more recognizable and more searchable. And I was like,
Okay.
absolutely.
I didn't even know that. That's so interesting.
Yeah, so I came up with Tigre de Tartan, which means the tartan tiger.
Yeah.
And it's these two elements, right? It's the tiger, which is a little more exotic
Yeah.
and mysterious, if you will. And then de Tartan is preppy and plaid. And that's sort of how I grew up and the neighborhood that I live in now and
Yeah.
the life that we're building here.
It's
It's
that juxtaposition of worlds
Mhm.
that becomes your world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I pronounce it Tigre de Tartan because I'm from Chicago. We have the flat A's.
Yeah.
Yes, Tigre
I
de
can't
Tartan.
I can't pronounce it any other way that the way that it naturally comes, which is Tigre de Tartan. So a lot of times people are like, the what? What was that?
I know, and
Some
then
people
like the
call it
closed
Tigre.
captioning.
Yeah, I try to make it more American, Tigre, and people get
Tigre.
it
You should
easier.
hear,
Yeah.
Lourdes, when I'm on with these vendors, they're like, Turgra?
Oh
Turgra?
my God.
I'm
Yes.
like, that's close enough. That's fine. Yep.
Oh, I
That's
mean, believe me, my name has been butchered. I mean, I came to the States when I was like 20 and I went to college and I remember in the coffee shop, they will call the
Oh, yeah,
coffee shop.
yeah.
yeah.
I was like,
Lordy,
Laura. I was like, so
Louders.
since college, my Starbucks name or any kind of call name is Mary. Like they ask me, I'm like Mary. Because
Totally.
otherwise
You're
I will
supposed to do
never
that.
get
Yeah,
my order. It's just
totally.
So good. Yeah.
No, but Caroline
that's
lived in, what was it,
Guatemala.
Guatemala?
Yeah.
She
I
lived in
do actually speak
Guatemala.
Spanish, but that hasn't been relevant yet. So we'll see.
what I'm sure it'll come up. So
Yeah.
tell me now something maybe that nobody knows about you. We know, the needlepoint, a little stuff. Tell us something you want to share that we want all your fans to know that maybe we don't know about. The business, about you. I didn't know you were like from Mexican descent, for example. So that was cool.
Well, a Tigre is more than a mahjong house, and we didn't start with mahjong. I know we kind of went over that already,
Yeah.
but we offer a wide variety of other items. We do tabletop, we do needlepoint, and then we're not afraid to go and offer some other sort of hobby or home good. It's all included, and uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of a boring answer, Lourdes. What did you
No.
have anything?
I would say that I think the thing that people may not realize is that like we're not just kind of doing the same thing over and over. So we often, I would say at least twice a week, we have a meeting where we talk about innovation and like new concept ideas. So We have some new concept ideas coming out for racks, which we're pretty excited about.
Interesting. I love my, I waited, I saw something about the tortoise racks that you had, and I was like, I am going to hold on and I'm going to wait to get those. And I remember it was
Oh
the
yeah, I
most
remember that.
expensive, it was the most expensive rack I have ever purchased at that point. And I was like, oh my God, it was so, and when they came in, I was like, oh my God, like, holy shit. Like, I was like, they were
I
so pretty.
remember how in love you were with those, and I
Oh,
remember you asking
obsessed.
about those.
Yeah. And they're the only tortoise racks I have because that's all you need because they're
Yeah,
perfection.
they're
I mean,
really good.
yeah.
Some of the other priorities we have are onshoring. So we are working so hard to get most, if not all. I mean, tiles will really always be made in China, but we are
Yeah.
working, bringing everything that we can to the
Oh
U.S.
yeah, that's a good one. Did you
Um,
guys
Yeah.
did you know that, Lourdes? A
Yeah.
lot of our stuff is made here in the U.S.
Like we
Well,
are very
the leatherettes, I know there's a lot of printers that do it in the US, but the raw material is still from China, right?
No.
Well,
No?
a lot of it is. Some of it is not. We haven't disclosed which are and which aren't because we're doing a little beta testing.
That's good.
But our plan is actually to make the raw material in the US as well. So,
Okay, very cool.
and then we're working with some woodworkers that are like, it's not going to be low volume. So it'll be like, normal volume of
Yeah.
racks that we made in the US. And then we've been doing some more kind of innovative stuff with our mats since, Sunny was really the one who kind of made leatherette a material for Mahjong. It really,
Yeah, I mean, it was the only person for a long
yeah.
Oh
time
my
that I
gosh, for
can.
2 years. For 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the only person. And I guess one of
I
the
was out
things
there
you
with
did,
my sandwich board out
the
on the
thing
street.
the thing about that it's a struggle, I guess, for brands is like, how do you do innovation of design and everything when then people, and maybe sometimes I'm there too, want that old amazing design, like the Holy Mat, right? Like that was one that I felt like it was like, I don't know. It was literally the holy mat. So how do you continue to innovate and bring new stuff when people maybe still asking? Because I know with some of the neutral mats that I have from you guys, people are like, I want that one, but there's this different versions. No, but I want the one you have. And you're like, well, we're trying to also like, I can see that you try to create, but then people go back and are stuck with those. How do you handle that?
Some of them we do bring back. Like, for example, Paige Spearin, the
Yeah.
crowd roar to bring back Maja Martinis was so loud it was undeniable. So if you are screaming loud enough, we hear you for sure.
Okay.
So then there's like we do have to make choices because we have to run a tight ship and make sure our SKUs are limited. And can you imagine if we had all the same stuff from 3 years ago? Like that would be so boring.
No,
So
but I always think that
you have to
maybe
trust
there's,
us that
if
we're
like
going to
100
seduce you into
if
another
100 or
style.
more people keep on asking you for that, maybe you just like have like the vault when there's like maybe two or three or four. There are like the most popular ones, you
Totally.
know?
Like that one that you have. I know a lot of people love that. Like Miles Red commented on that one. And
Is
I'm
that
like,
Yeah,
well, that's the
Ultra
reason we need to bring
Boy?
it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Ultra Boy.
Yeah, the neutral mats are a whole other discussion because I know you have it, and I send people look. There's all these other ones that you can play with. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes people want to replicate exactly maybe what I do,
Totally.
and it's like, would it work? Yes, it would work. It's like a neutral. A
To
neutral
that I
works.
say, Gabe, we can find a cute mat that is gonna just rock your world the same way. We
Yeah,
will.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. We have so many, so many fun mats that you guys do. Yeah, there's not enough money or time or house to have all the mats that I want. So let's close it with the last question. I want to know if there's anything coming in the future, in the near future or the longer future that is exciting to you guys that you want to share with us. What's coming? I have seen a pearl tile that I don't know when's coming in the fall. That one's I've gotten a lot of questions about that.
Okay, so that is our oyster finish tile. It
Yes.
has like a slight gray hue to it.
Interesting.
Um, and we did a tiger tile for anthropology,
Yeah, that's
and it
lovely.
took off, and everybody wanted it for Tigre.
Yeah.
So we remade it like this, and it has this oyster finish to it.
Shimmer. Is
Traditional
it
backs. That's coming out I mean, I'd say late October, but then everybody's gonna freak out. So we're saying
Fall.
November.
Somewhere in the fall.
Holiday.
Yeah. And is that the same size as all your tiles?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's the same like yellow mountain
Traditional
tournament-
traditional
front tournament style tile.
Yeah.
And then we do have a launch on this coming Tuesday for
Okay.
our domino pattern. We have the Faded Carolina, which is my personal
I
favorite.
named it after Caroline.
Yes,
Color.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with that one. And then the Oxblood. So those are like the two variations. And then we're also launching our long-awaited French mural, which is another one of my favorites. And we're kind of trying to turn this into like Tigre Tuesdays, where we're going to drop new mats or new designs, whatever, new products.
And always at 4 p.m., right?
Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Yeah, we're trying to catch people because we're central.
Yeah.
So we're trying to catch people who are East Coast 5 p.m. You know, it may be during the lull, your coffee break if you're on the West Coast. And then final few Fridays are going to continue on my page. We'll have one today.
Okay.
If that becomes something that people are obsessed with, we'll probably like eventually maybe bring it to the real page. But we were kind of trying to like beta test it on my page.
Testing it a little bit. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And people seem to really like it. The number of messages I get on Instagram, it's like, are you in town? Like, are you gonna do a final few Friday?
And her kid was like having surgery, and they're like, "Where's our final
few
few?"
hospital? And then, do you want to do this?
Yeah, but I'm only showing it for a second.
Okay. Quickly, just quick peek.
I don't want Timo to start copying it. Woo!
Okay, that just went something exciting.
This is
It's
a little
Paige.
copy of Paige Spearin's
Christmas mat.
snow mat, holiday mat.
Yeah, it's non-denominational. It's like the chalet mat or something.
Okay, so it could be used for winter, it could be used in ski, it could be used in the holiday.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's nothing really denominational about it. So yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm calling it a snow mat right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, and that will be also holiday, kind of November-ish.
We want it sooner than that because really, the second the weather changes, I think this is a really cozy mat to start playing with.
And that's such a thing, right? Because I'm in Texas and it is still 100 and I don't know how many million degrees. So for us, the fall is not until like November, sadly. But I mean, in Colorado, I know in 2 months, they're like, okay, this is, sweater weather again and, and jacket and all of that. And for you guys, it's the same.
Yeah,
totally. We're already starting to feel chilly.
Oh, so jealous.
It's been pouring rain for 5 days straight.
Very bad here.
Oh, I see somebody talking about like, the Starbucks, whatever, pumpkin. And I'm like, oh, we still have so much.
The pumpkin spice latte.
Lord, it sounds like you have to come visit.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I gotta tell you, I think Erin and I will just hop in September and come see you guys.
We'll take you anytime.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
We'll take you around town, Lourdes.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, it would be very fun. So I want to thank you so much for this time this morning. It's been so interesting because I was talking to Erin about this yesterday, but you have such a clear aesthetic. It's like your world, like you were describing, that goes beyond the mash table. And it's so interesting to speak to you guys and see kind of how does that word works and where does it come from. So it's very exciting. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I
work for you. Thank you for doing that. I've enjoyed it so much, the series.
Yeah, I think people really wanted to know who is behind the brand and how did it started, and a lot of our personal, stories, and people relate to that. So that's really, really nice. So thank you for letting us in your world today. Thank you, Caroline, for keeping her, organized and the warehouse running and the innovation coming. And we can't wait to see what else comes from you guys.
Thank you, Lourdes. This was such a nice opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, have a great weekend. Enjoy the chilliness.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.